So earlier, if you observe, this is how our ATM cards looks like, right? So if you observe here, so the card will be having the expiry date and the name on the card and the card number and the bank name. And on the back side, you can see there is a black color line. Okay. So this black color line can be called as a magnetic strip. Okay. It can be called as the magnetic strip. So whatever the data you want to insert, the data will be stored into this magnetic strip. If you remember, in the olden days, we used to have the tape records in the Walkmans. Okay. So in the tape recorder Walkman, what we do, we will be inserting the cassettes where it is having a reel inside it, right? If do you remember that? Have you seen that? I don't know whether you have seen that or not. Okay. So we used to have in our olden days. Yeah, these kind of things. Okay. And you can see here. So this can be called as the cassette, and within this also you have the black color reel, right? So actually this can be called as a magnetic strip where the data will be dumped into it. Whenever the wheel is rotating now, then you can able to hear the audio. Okay, the audio will be saved into it. So the audio can be hear to us, the songs or anything. Okay, and also in the olden days we used to have the hand videos as a big devices, okay, where you will be placing it on your shoulder and you will be recording the video, and within that also you will be having the similar kind of cassette, but it will be a big cassette, okay, where the data will be stored into the reel. Okay, so once you place it into the VCR video recorder, so it is gonna play the video along with the audio. What I'm trying to say here is like the data will be inserted into stored into this magnetic strip, okay, this black color strip. In the same way here, the data of this ATM card will be stored into this magnetic strip, okay. So whenever you insert the card into this card reader now, card skimmer now, it is gonna read the data from the magnetic strip and it will be stored into the device. Okay. And then after, whenever you type the keypad now, so the keypad is gonna capture your keystrokes, and also this camera is gonna record what you are typing here. Okay. So what you are typing here, that will be recorded in the camera, and also it will be stored into this skimmer device as well. Okay, the keyboard overlay. So with that, the hackers can able to steal your card related information where they can use this information to clone your cards. Okay. As you can see here. So these are the empty cards. Okay. So what the hackers will do is like they will be dumping that information into this empty cards. Even though the card is with you, they can withdraw money from your bank account using these empty cards, okay, these dummy cards. So this is how the hackers are going to clone your ATM cards or credit cards or debit cards, any card it is, okay. So since the skimming related crimes are increased a lot, then the government of India and the RBI has made a decision to block these outdated cards, and they have started to implement the new card called chip cards. Okay, this is how the chip cards look like. You can see here, not this one, yeah, this one. So here you can see this is the chip. Okay, backside you will be having this strip, and also you will be having the chip on the top side of the ATM card. Okay, so this chip card is gonna store the information of our bank related details. So with this, we cannot able to say that we are gonna provide the 100% security and we can avoid the skimming. But the outdated skimmer device can able to read only the strip codes, okay, not the chip codes, okay. So that is the reason to overcome from this skimming attack. Now the government and the RBI has made a decision to implement these chip codes where they have completely banned the old codes. So majority of the people thought that why the banks have banned these old cards and they have introduced the new cards again. It is a big problem for us to replace the cards. We need to raise the request and we need to get the card. It's a hectic thing. We will be thinking that, but the major reason is like to protect our money, to secure our money. The RBI has made this decision, okay. But later on, so with this we cannot avoid 100% skimming attacks, okay. But the thing is like whatever the outdated schema device is, that won't work. Again, they need to create the new, like develop the new schema devices, and they need to bring it into the market. By that time, even the government can able to like make the necessary precautions where they can avoid getting that devices into the market. So they can reduce the increase of these devices and they can protect our codes. But still, it is not gonna provide us 100% security. So that is the reason. Again, we have implemented new cards. The Visa, the card companies like the Visa card and the Mastercard, Rupee, these people have implemented the new cards called tap and go cards. Okay. As you can see here, you need not to insert the code into the device, because if you make the physical contact of the code with the device, then only a code can be cloned. So we are not making the physical contact. We are just tapping the code and we are making the payment, whichever is the physical contact with the device, which helps us to overcome from this kind of code cloning related attacks. Okay, so you can see first magnet chip, and along with that EVM chip. Okay, and along with that tap and go option. How the securities are being implemented by the banks. Okay, still we think why the banks are doing all these nonsense things. Earlier it was very user friendly. Now they are doing something like this. And you know what? With this we can mitigate the code cloning. Okay, but later on, what it is happened is like the hackers have identified the vulnerability where they can bring the RFID device. Okay, they can bring the swiping device or the RFID device near to our pocket, and they can able to withdraw money from our cards. Okay, so without of entering the pin number, because with this tap and go card, you need not to enter the pin number, because we want to avoid the physical contact and we want to avoid the typing the pin number to avoid the skimming attacks. Okay, card cloning attack. That is the reason there is no need of entering the pin. But still, actually, with this we are having a lot of advantages. Okay, first and foremost thing, in the shopping malls, when there is a heavy queue now, inserting the code and entering the pin number, it is going to take a lot of time. Instead, if you just tap the code now, you need not to enter the pin number, and you can reduce the wait time of the queue, where you can able to save the time. Okay, and along with that, even you can able to avoid the physical contact with the device, where you can able to avoid the code cloning or skimming related attack. Okay, but later on, what it is happened is like the hackers are bringing the device near to our pocket and they were stealing the money from our cards. Okay, so then after again the RBI has implemented the new rule, because the crimes are happening, people are losing the money, so they cannot sit quietly. We are very lazy, we know we are very lazy to take the necessary precautions. So that is the reason the government is taking lot of precautions. Okay, so what they are doing is like they have like implemented like we need to enable the option by requesting to the bank, otherwise by default the card should come without tap and go option, and then after we need to request the bank to enable the tap and go option. Okay, because majority of the people are unaware of this, they are not educated, so what it is happening is like they will be becoming the victims of these crimes. They don't know how to enable or disable, so that is the reason. We need to request the bank. Okay, later on again, once you enable it now, you cannot able to disable. Again, you need to request the bank. Always going to the bank, enabling, disabling the request. It is taking lot of time. Okay. So again, what the RBI has done is like they have implemented one more rule, like every card control has to be provided by the particular bank in the mobile banking application. So if you want to enable the contactless payment, you can enable that. If you want to disable, you can disable every day the daily limit, or how much money you can able to spend from your card per day. You can able to limit each and everything, control each and everything from the banking application only. So by taking the mobile with the few taps away, you can do that. But again, people will say always enabling, disabling, this is a very big thing, why it is not user friendly. So it is not a good thing. So we will be having time to scroll the reels, we will be having time to like the reels and to edit the videos and to post it in the Instagram or anywhere, and always being in the WhatsApp texting with anyone, we will be having lot of time. But opening the mobile banking and enabling and disabling for 30 seconds, spending 30 seconds to 1 minute of time, it is a hectic thing for us, right? So this is how we think, but it is for our safety. The government is doing its duty to make as much as possible, okay, to secure our money as much as possible, but doing the minute things from our end is really important to us. So what we can do, actually earlier the withdrawal limit is only 2000 per transaction using the tap and go card, okay, but now you are having up to 5000. And after the card control options are there now, even you can able to increase the limit for the like tap and go option. If you want, you can increase the limit from the banking application. So there are a lot of things that you can do, okay. But the thing is like, you should open the mobile banking application and you should enable before you're making the payment. Once it is done, you can disable that. With that, you can able to protect up to some extent, okay. So it is not easy to take the money from our accounts by bringing the RFID device near to our pocket, because the option is disabled. So it's a matter of a minute where we can able to save our money, okay. This is one thing that we can do. And the other thing is like, I request everyone to use the RFID blocking wallets. Okay. So you can see these kind of wallets. Okay. These are like the wallets which will help us to protect our cards. They will block the RFID signal so that if someone is bringing the device near to our pocket, they cannot able to withdraw money. So the wallets like this. Okay. You will be having the label on this. Okay. I think it will have vanished. So this is also a RFID blocking wallet. Okay. So when you place it near to the RFID device now, the money cannot be withdrawn from your account. I mean from your card. Okay. So you can use the cards like this where you can place the cards into it or even into your pocket. Okay. Which will block the RFID signals. Okay. So this is one way to protect the codes. Okay. So even the by using these kind, this is also important because always we cannot trust the software. Even sometimes we may forget to enable and disable the tap and go options. Right. In that scenario, these codes, these wallets will be helpful for us. Even you can get these wallets with the same price as you are getting the normal wallets. Okay. So all these are the mitigations that we can follow to avoid the code cloning and code skimming related attacks. Okay. So this is how even the government is bringing the change into the current market, okay, to avoid maximum code related attacks, okay. Even it's our duty to take some things where we can able to protect our money, okay. So this is about skimming. So Sham and even Vivo V2118, can you please respond? Sham, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, is it clear?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, fine. So the next one is shoulder surfing. Okay, as you can see here, the next attack is shoulder surfing. So what do you mean by shoulder surfing? So, shoulder surfing, everyone will do in your day to day life. Okay. You will be standing back of the people and you will be looking into their mobile to whom they are texting, or like, see, you might be in your college, you might be doing this. Like, if your friend is starting with their girlfriend or boyfriend, you will be standing back of them and you will be looking at them what they are texting and what they are talking and everything, right? Even it can be called as the shoulder surfing. You can see these attacks moreover in the ATM centers. Okay. So whenever you go to the ATM centers now, there will be a lot of people who will be standing in the ATM centers. Earlier, there will be a lot of people who are standing into the ATM centers, right? So whenever you are typing anything, the people will be standing back of you and they will be looking at your code. What is the number on your code? Some people will be having lot of IQ where they can remember everything, whatever they see. So they will be looking at your code number and the expiry date and the CVV number and the PIN that you are typing. And they will be noting down this information and they can use this information in the online shopping sites. Earlier, in whenever you're doing the online shopping now, you need not to get the OTP to your mobile number. You can directly do the transaction just by giving the CVV details and the PIN number and the code number. Okay. Even also in some cases, if you provide the CVV number now, it is going to work. Okay. No need of getting the OTP. So with that, the hackers can able to make the online shopping. You can see a lot of crimes have happened before 10 years in the Amazon or Flipkart. The people are not doing any kind of transaction or they are not purchasing anything, but still someone is placing the orders from the Amazon on different, I mean, from our code. Okay, this is how the people are stealing, like making the like things, like doing the online shopping or anything from the online by using our card details. How it is happening is like because of this shoulder surfing attack. The other thing is like you will be having a option to save the card for future transactions, for easy transactions. So everyone will be saving the card details over there. If someone is getting access to your Amazon account now by using phishing attack or anything, then they can able to make the shopping from your account without your knowledge. So this is how the hackers are doing the attacks with our details. Okay, now here happen is like on the there will be some guidelines in the ATM. Only two persons are allowed into the ATM at a time earlier, but now only one person is allowed into the ATM, but no one will follow the rules. But still, only one person is allowed into the ATM so that we can avoid this kind of attack. The other thing is like it is always recommended to cover the keypad whenever you are typing the PIN number. But again, we are lazy. We don't do that. Why should I cover the PIN number? So that is the reason again, the ATM machines is having a cap on the keyboard nowadays, right? Even if you want to type your PIN number, you need to bend and you need to look at the keypad and you need to type. Because we are not taking the necessary precautions, people are losing the money and they are blaming the government and the banks what you are doing. So because of that, they are bringing lot of changes to maintain the security. But at least covering the keypad is not a big deal for us, like keeping the hand like this. So that is what whenever you type the keypad, even though the cap is there, now better to cover it. Okay. The other thing is like never ever share your PIN number with anyone in the ATM. So some people who don't know how to withdraw money from the ATMs now, they will be asking the other people, can you please withdraw money from me? From my code, they will be asking the help. So whenever you are giving like asking like that now, better don't reveal your PIN number. Ask them to go with the options, but you should keep insert the code by yourself only. Okay, you should insert the code because if they turn back now, they can see your CVV number and even on the front side your code related information. So please cover the code and insert into the ATM machine and ask them to do the transaction. And whenever the PIN number is coming, na, you should type your PIN number. Don't reveal it to them. Please type your PIN number on your own. And after that, please take your card back. Okay. So I can see some people they forgot to take the card from the ATM machines. I have found lot of cards in that way, you know. So from different ATMs, so far I have found almost around 10 cards in the ATM centers in my lifespan. Okay, from the time since I started using the ATMs after 18 plus years of age to till now, I got around 10 plus cards in the ATM machines which are stuck. Okay, and sometimes people forgot to take the money as well. I don't know why they were so hurried. They were looking into the mobile and texting, and they will forget and they will leave. Yeah, cordless withdraw కూడా వచ్చింది because to avoid the skimming attacks. That is what I told you now. By making the cash or anything, you can do withdraw money from the ATM centers. Even you can do the cashless, cordless deposits and the cordless withdraw from the concerned ATM banks. Okay, but if you're withdrawing with other card, now definitely you need to have the card with you. Like if you are using the ATM of other bank, you are having the account in Kotak Bank, and you're withdrawing money from the IDFC, then you need to use the card. Okay. So here, like this, lot of things are happening. So to avoid that things, there are certain protocols and the guidelines are brought by the banks and even by the RBI. So where you one person is allowed into the ATM and you should cover your keypad whenever you're typing the PIN number, and also you should like should not reveal your card number to anyone. Once the transaction is done, please take your card back. And whenever you're inserting and removing the card number, better to cover your card where no one can able to see your card number or like the expiry date or anything of your card. Okay. So these are the precautions that you can take to avoid the skimming and the shoulder surfing attack. So is it clear so far or any doubts? గట్టిగా చెప్పండి నేను గట్టిగా మాట్లాడుతున్నా బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ చేయలే మరి నేను చేయలేదు అయినా నేను గట్టిగానే మాట్లాడుతున్నాను సో ద నెక్స్ట్ అటాక్ ఈస్ malware. Okay, so what do you mean by malware? Okay, malware is a term which is derived from the word malicious software. Okay, mal from the malicious and ware from the software. Okay, so together we can call it as the malware. Okay, so malware is a parent term where it is done with the like malicious content. So it is having some malicious code within it. Whenever it enters into a system or network, it is gonna perform some damage to that like network or the device. Okay, so based upon the code written into it, it is gonna act accordingly. Okay, in the malware again we are having the different types of categories. The first one is virus. So what do you mean by virus? చేశారు కదా డాక్యుమెంట్ చెప్పండి వాట్ ఈస్ వైరస్ అంటే ఫైల్లో ఉంటే ఆ ఫైల్లో ఫార్మ్స్ అనేది సిస్టమ్ మొత్తం సో వైరస్ it requires human interaction to execute. Okay, so if you are like talking about the virus now, so virus whenever it enters into your device, it is not gonna create any kind of damage to your device. Okay, no matter whether it was there in your device from 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, 10 years, it is not gonna create any kind of impact on your device until and unless we the humans double click on that particular application. Now till that time it is not going to show any kind of impact on our device. But once you double click on the virus, then it is going to execute and it is going to work accordingly as per the code written into it. Okay, this is how the virus will works. Okay, whereas coming to the worms is a self-replicated one. Okay, so the worms does not require the human interaction. Once it enters into your network, now it is going to execute on its own and it is gonna spread throughout all the devices in your network. Okay, so the first reported cybercrime is also the worm attack. I am not saying before that there are no cyber attacks. There are a lot of things, like even in the Germany there is a failure of the textile machine where it is used for weaving the clothes. Okay, the vision has worked abnormally. There are a lot of things that have happened like that, but still the first reported cybercrime, whenever you're talking now, then we can say it is a worm because this is the reported crime, okay, which can be considered as a crime. And this worm was developed by a person called Maurice, and we can call it as the Maurice worm, okay, which is implemented in the year, I think, 1978. It was started, but it was came into the market 1980, okay, where it was reported for the first time in the year 1980 on November 2nd. Okay, at afternoon, sorry, evening 8 p.m. or somewhere around that, it was came into the picture. Okay, and you know what? This worm attack was created a huge impact in the global market where it has given rise to implement the like different councils on the cyber related things or like incident response related things. Even the cybercrime stations were adopted and the people they have started to hire the people who are like who can able to work under this cyber security domain. It has opened to door for the lot of employment opportunities. Okay, and also it has given rise to the thing for the people to think that even cyber crimes are being taken place, we should act now, we should be aware of them and we should protect them from that time only. Okay, so maximum majority of the people are aware about the cyber attacks after COVID, which is after 2020. Okay, but it was there from so long. And the credit card and debit card cloning was there before 1980s only. And in the year 1980, a movie was released. The movie name is called The Hackers, which is released into the market in the year 1980, which is completely about how the cloning and the coding techniques will be done, how the hackers are stealing our credit card and debit card things. So in the 1980 only the movie was there means from how long the attacks are taking place in the market. You can imagine, right? So still we say cybersecurity is the upcoming technology, it is the latest technology. How can we say it is the latest and upcoming technology? It is not the upcoming technology. It was there in the market from so long. This is not the latest technology. We got to know about this very recently, but it was there in the market from very long time where this attack, the worm attack, it has given rise to the implementation of the establishment of the companies like McAfee and even the Casper, sorry, McAfee and the Norton like companies. McAfee and Norton are like the antivirus based companies. Even they have started in the year 1980 because of this attack. That means you can imagine from how long the cyber attacks are there in the market and how many experts are working in this domain. But we are saying it as the latest technology. Okay. So you can imagine how much back we are in the current society. So it was there from so long. Okay. But still, from that time to till today, the requirement for the cybersecurity experts is keep on increasing. Okay, so when you compare with the other technologies like the Java or like testing or any other things now, if any new technology enters into the market now, the old technology is getting updated, sorry, downdated. Okay. Like see, you can see earlier we used to have the HTML and then after we had the like sorry, we have C, C++, and then after we have the Java. Once the Java came, the other things are gone, and the PHP, and then the .NET is came into the market. When the .NET is came again, the PHP or these things are gone. Again now the React JS. You can see the upgradation here. Once the new things are coming into the market, the old things are completely vanished into the market. Where again you need to go for the new opportunities and new companies where you need to struggle to secure your job and to like learn the new things and to get the job into the domains. Okay, which is very difficult for us. But whereas coming to the cybersecurity, from that time till today, the opportunities are keep on increasing, and when the technology is increased, now the requirement for cybersecurity experts is also keep on increased. Okay, so being into this domain is really a green card for you. It is more than a government job because for government job at the age of 60 or 62, you need to retire from your job. But coming to the cybersecurity, until your last breath, you can work in this domain. Okay, that means you can see the weightage of this domain. no matter how many new technologies are coming into the market, you cannot able to see the downgrade of this technology. Very nowhere the graph will getting down for the cybersecurity people. It always keeps on increasing and it is bringing the new opportunities for the people. So this is the weightage of the cybersecurity, and seriously being into this domain is really a proud feel for us, because whenever you say you're working into the cybersecurity domain in the outside market now, the respect that people give to you is completely different. Okay, it's not like you are into the cybersecurity. When you expose yourself, like you are having the skill set and knowledge, if you showcase your knowledge now, the respect will be given to you for sure. It's not because of your background, or it's not because of your package or your money, or you are whether you are a rich or poor person. It's not about that. It's all about the profession you are working into. This is gonna bring you the respect into the market. Already I am getting that, so definitely even you will get that. Okay, and whatever I am saying is really true. Okay, definitely you can see that weightage once you learn the things. Okay, so this is the only technology which ends the money and respect for you, where other technologies don't have these kind of things. So that is the reason I say cybersecurity is different. Okay, so it is not difficult, it's a different thing. That's it. Even people who are there in this particular domain, they are always special, because the way how we think is completely different when compared to the other people. Okay. So, okay, coming to our topic, the worms are self-replicated one. And one more thing, guys, during 1980s, so how many systems we have per each home? Not even one. So at least hardly in 10 houses, we can't even find even a single device, single computer or single laptop in 1980s, right? During that time only, this swarm has affected almost around 6,000 plus species within no time, very less time. That means you can imagine the impact of this device. I mean, these swarms. So once it enters into the network now, it will execute on its own and it is going to spread throughout all the devices in our network. Okay, if you are having 50 pieces or 100 pieces or 1000 pieces, it doesn't matter. It will affect all the pieces within very less time. Okay, this is all about the worms. Is it clear or any doubts? So the next one is trojans, or even we can call it as a trojan horse. So what it is? Mm-hmm. 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 Then, okay, after that, that's it. Okay, why we are calling it as a trojan horse? So guys, the name Trojan horse was given from the ancient time. There is a war between the Greeks and Troyes. Okay, there is a war taken place between the Greeks and Troyes, and as per the Greek mythology, the losing team has to surrender a horse to the winning team as a glory of their victory. Okay, so during that war, the Greeks were unable to defeat the Troyes in that war. So what it is happened is like, so the Greeks have prepared a wooden horse. Okay. So I hope everyone can able to see the screen. Okay. So the Greeks have prepared a wooden horse where they have placed their soldiers into this wooden horse. Okay. The Greeks have placed their soldiers into this wooden horse, and they left the horse in front of the Troy's kingdom. Okay. Then what the Troyes have thought that is, okay, since we have won the war, the Greeks were unable to defeat us. They have left this horse for us. Okay. And once they left this horse in front of the Troy's kingdom, now, the Troyes have taken this horse into their kingdom as a glory of their victory. And they have celebrated and they have slept in the night. Once they were sleeping in the night now, the people in this horse have came out. Okay, the army of the Greeks from the horse have came out and they have opened the doors of the Troy's kingdom. Actually, the fort, the palace, okay, the castle is gonna protect from the different types of attacks because of the strong walls and the buildings. It can able to defend the attacks of the outside enemies. Okay, but once you open the door now, once people enter into your kingdom now, definitely it's a vulnerability, it's a loophole. All your security things will be bypassed, and the opponent team can enter into your kingdom very easily into your device. Okay, so they entered into the kingdom and they have defeated the Troys. That is how the Greeks have won the war. Okay, so for Troyes, they it was look like the legitimate one, but in reality, it is the legitimate one. The people are there inside this wooden horse who came out from this horse, and they have opened the doors. And even there is a movie on this about this scene. Okay, there is a movie where you can watch it in the Netflix or Amazon, I think so. Okay, in the same way, from this, the name has given the Trojan horse for the malware because it looks like the legitimate application, either any useful application like the video player or like the game or like any text editor. Once you download it now, you can play the game directly. Okay, but in the back end what it is doing is like it is creating a backdoor. Okay, what does the backdoor is do is like it is gonna bypass all your security features. Okay, it will bypass the firewall, antivirus, EDRs and other related things, and it is making the hacker to enter into our device or network where the hacker can able to use different payloads to launch the different types of attacks on our device or on the network where they can able to download the data or delete the data or modify the data, whatever they want to do they can able to do anything. Okay, this is how the Trojan horse is gonna work. That is the reason the Troyes also thought that it is the legitimate horse, but inside there is something fishy. In the same way we will be thinking it as a legitimate application, but once you download it is gonna behave as the malicious intent. Okay, so this is how the name was given to the malware called Trojan horse. Okay. So is it clear or any doubts? Everyone please respond. So Sham and even Vivo V2118. Is it clear? Even you can see here this video how the Trojan horse was built and how it won Troy to the ground. The full invention story. So Sham, can you hear me? Am I audible? Or else at least type it in the chat box. So is it clear or any doubts? So even the backdoors in the Trojan horse is completed, right? Now, ransomware. So what do you mean by ransomware? Not taking shells. So ransom and where is nothing but the software. Okay. So ransomware is nothing but a software which demands for money can be called as a ransomware. Okay. A software which demands for the money can be called as ransomware. Okay. Here, whenever a ransomware enters into our device now, it is gonna encrypt all our device data. Okay, So here you can see whenever any ransomware is affected now, you will get these kind of pop-ups like your all your files are encrypted. Okay, you can see your important files are encrypted. Many of your documents, photos, videos, database, and other files are no longer accessible because they have been encrypted. Maybe you are busy looking for a way to recover your files, but do not waste your time. Nobody can recover your files without our decryption service. So, if you want to get the decryption key, you need to pay money to the hackers. You can see you need to pay money in the form of the Bitcoin to them. Okay. So, you need to pay money to them in the form of the Bitcoin. Okay. Where it is equivalent to the $300 worth of Bitcoin. Because the cryptocurrency wallets are completely digital. We don't know who is holding that account, and it is having the security, okay, where we can't even find who is the person and to which account the money was transferred. Okay, so here it is going to use the blockchain technology in the backend for the bitcoins, which is more secure way of transaction. Okay, so that is the reason the hackers will demand in the form of the bitcoins. If it is not in the normal bank accounts now, we can easily trace the person, right? So that is what. So here what it is happening is like all your files will be encrypted where you cannot able to access your files. If you want to decrypt them now, you need to pay money to them. If you want to pay money, even though if you pay money, the thing is like we cannot guarantee that they are gonna provide our data back. We cannot guarantee that. Even they can ask you again and again to like pay the money. Okay. So here in this scenario, the best way to mitigate from this kind of thing is like what you can do is like you can back up the things. Okay, antiviruses, that's a different story. If it is a new ransomware now, the antivirus can't even able to detect that. If it is already existed one, they can able to mitigate that. Okay, but the new one can't be detected by firewalls or antivirus because the signatures of behavior is not added into the database. Okay, so here the best way to secure from this is like maintaining the regular backups. You should maintain the regular backup, okay, where even though if you lose your data, you can restore the data from the backup. Okay, that is the best way to back up your data. Okay. So the thing is like, for example, consider you are taking the backup till today evening, and in the next day afternoon, the attack has been taken place. All your files are encrypted. Then what you can do, you can format your systems and you can remove the malware and you can restore your data from the backup of yesterday so that you can have the files till yesterday at least. Okay, only today data might be missing. So this is also one of the best way. Instead of paying such a huge amount to the hackers, maintaining the regular backups is one of the best solution to overcome from this ransomware attacks. Is that clear or any doubts? And the next one is keylogger. What do you mean by keylogger? It's not a password cracking. So keylogger is a kind of malicious software. Once it was installed into your device now, whatever the keystrokes you are typing in your device, anything you are typing now, every keystroke will be captured and given to the hacker, so that whatever you are doing, like in case if you're logging into your social media accounts or like the banking accounts or anything, all your usernames and passwords and the website urls, everything will be come to know by the hacker. Only that, even if you are texting in the all your chatting conversations and the communication will be shared to the hacker where they can able to know what you are typing and what you are communicating with the other people. This is how the keyloggers are gonna work. Okay, So they will capture your keystrokes and it is gonna give the keystrokes to your all the keystrokes to your to the hacker. Okay. Next one is SQLI. What do you mean by SQLI? SQLI is nothing but the SQL injection. So SQL injection is a kind of attack where we can able to perform it on the vulnerable MySQL database. Okay. So if any MySQL database is vulnerable to this SQL injection, now we can inject some malicious script into that. Okay, and we can able to like bypass the username and password field, or we can fetch the data from the database. Okay, without knowing the username and password we can get the data from the database, and even we can log in into the application. So we can do the different things with the help of the SQL injection only when the application is vulnerable. Okay, and coming to the XSS, now XSS can be called as a cross-site scripting. So whenever you have inserted some malicious script into the text fields. So the SQL injection or the cross-site scripting, they will work on the user input fields. Okay, wherever the user is having the feasibility to type the text now. So in those cases, it will be applicable. Okay, so here the hacker is injecting some JavaScript or some malicious script into it. Okay, if the application is vulnerable to it now, then it is gonna create the pop-ups or like site redirections or anything it can do. Okay, even see, you might be getting the pop-ups like the server is under maintenance, please come back after 2 hours or something like that, right? So these kind of pop-ups can be created by using the XSS attacks, cross-site scripting. So what the hackers do is like the hackers are gonna create the inject the malicious script into your browser whenever you're trying to open any banking application or anything now. You will get a message like the server is under maintenance, please come back after 2 hours or 4 hours. Then even the hackers will be calling you and stating that we are calling from so and so bank and we are maintaining our service. Okay, so you will be, your application may not be work for next 4 hours or 8 hours, so please log in after 8 hours or 24 hours. In the meantime, what the hackers will do is like they are gonna like steal the money from your bank accounts where you are not caring of it, because the server is under maintenance already. You got to know, you got the message, call and everything, and in the next 24 hours you need to log in. By that time the hackers is gonna loot the money from your accounts and they will be using that money, and by next 24 hours when you log in then you will come to know that your account is compromised and someone has stolen the money from your accounts. Okay, even in this way also the hackers are gonna make use of these particular attacks. Clear or any doubts? Everyone please respond. Sham, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is it clear?
Yes, clear, sir.
Okay, today we have discussed about the types of attacks, about skimming, shoulder surfing, and what is a malware and ransomware, virus, worms, Trojan horse, keyloggers, SQL injection, and cross-site scripting. Okay, in the tomorrow session, we will see how the hackers are gonna perform the hacking and how they are stealing our information or money from our accounts. We will see about the different types of attacks, how it will be done, and we will discuss about each and every attack very clearly and in detail. Okay, so this is for today. In case if you are having any doubts you can ask me, or else you can leave for today and let's meet tomorrow.